Okay, so welcome back to 2019. I hope you've all had a nice new year. We a little bit late on our video this time. Busy start to the year. What we'd like to do today, and I'm going to be doing this without Cassie, is to review all of the key areas that we've been working on with Cassie in the past year, and then itemize them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And we're going to go back and at the start of this year make sure that Cassie can achieve those skill and activities and things before we start taking further steps. We've been a little bit unlucky with the weather the last month or so. We wanted to get out 2 or 3 times and we've not been able to get out at all. So we've had to just deal with that and do what we can at the driving range. So let's get into it. Okay, so there's basically 2 areas that I want to sort of focus on. One is the kind of like technical side, the swing side, and the other is the shot side, different types of shots. So firstly, let's go into the things that we've been working on for her technical side, her basic swing. And you'll sort of seen from all the videos we've got, I think we're at 100, this is number 150. So she's been working hard now for a year and a half on her golf. You can see from the videos that we spend a lot of our time working with the iron shots and then developing it from there, making sure that we get those right to take into the longer clubs. If you can't do it with an iron, there's no way you're going to be able to do it with 3-wood, driver, etc. And so much of the way that I teach my students as well as Cassie is to start with the small clubs, get the basics, get the right concepts, and then move into the longer clubs. And we have I'm going to break it down into a set of skills and things we've been working on that she has been able to do, hasn't been able to do, problem moves. And so the first one we're going to do is going to be, number 1 is posture and grip. Now we're going to do a video on checking her grip and checking her posture. One of the things that I've noticed over the last few weeks is that as she swings back, her arms move away from her body, and that brings the swing from outside to in, because the arms, they want to hang right below your shoulders, but if they move away, the natural result is them come back in. So when you swing back, everything's swinging out from right to left. So that's something we'll be working on in our first video. Video number 2 of this year, we'll be working on point number 2. It might be the 3rd or 4th video because we may spend 1 or 2 weeks doing each of the points that we want to get right for her. The second one is just getting that feeling of the club head working with gravity and swinging by itself essentially. And that's one of our regular drills. We start this right back at the beginning of our Learn Golf with Cassie schedule. That's just up there. And that's just making sure that we're not trying to pull the club. The club is set on the path. It swings by itself with gravity and momentum. And we basically help it along its way by letting it do what the laws of physics say. So that's number 2. That's letting gravity and momentum take the swing for us. So that will be our second video that we'll be doing. And these, as I say, are follow-ups to things we've done before quite a few months ago. So the third part, and we've been working on this a lot recently, is her takeaway, making sure her takeaway doesn't go inside. She has a tendency to take the club way inside and then it comes out like this. And also for her wrist takeaway to open the club face. There's a load of videos up here, the takeaway, and that's another one that we want to make sure that we have a really strong grasp. Okay, so number 4 then is making sure that when we do the transition and we tip the club and pivot the club out so that it can get on the right path to do the job by itself rather than pulling our arms. One of the death moves that lots of people have is that they pull the hands ahead of the ball, and then the club face never gets a chance to get to closed or square rather and go through. And so if you pull the hands too fast, also the shoulders turn and everything goes off left if you get the club face back in time, or if you don't, the club face gets left open and everything squirts out to the right. So if we want to keep the ball going down the middle, we need to make sure that the club manages to swing through and slightly ahead of the hands before we start moving the rest of our body. So that's another one that we'll be doing. Number 4 is making sure that her wrist hinge is going up and down rather than turning. We talked about that on the takeaway, but as we come through, it's the same thing, dropping the wrist down rather than twisting the wrist through. Now Cassie is pretty good at doing the sort of turning the club through and catching up the face, but when you miss that, you either leave it open or you overclose it, so you get a right and a left miss. A right and left miss is very difficult to work with on the golf course, so we need to make sure that the club head comes to square naturally without having to manipulate our wrists. Number 5 is coming into the contact, the impact. She often jumps up, loses her posture, her hips will invade the space and the club has to swing around the hips, which could often lead to cutting across the ball or just not getting a very good contact. So that's one that we've been doing over the course of last year. She's doing a lot better, but there's still the tendency to jump up as she hits the ball if she's trying to get more power. And I think if you've watched any of our videos, you'll see that power is not about trying to get everything going fast. So it's putting everything into the right slot so the club head can go faster. Number 6 is making sure that she doesn't turn her shoulders when she wants to get extra power, and that because that pulls the club outside and pulls it across. And you'll see in the last, I don't know, month or two, her general miss is a pull to the left, and that's because she's trying to get extra power, and she's trying to get that power by using her shoulders, and that is a death move. Trying to get power with his shoulders is putting everything out of sync. So we want the power to come with the club head speed from setting up and letting momentum take it. And the other one that we will always be looking at is holding that wrist lag, not letting it go too early and casting it. And we've been doing a few videos on this at the end of 2018, holding lag, getting 30 yards extra. When she does that, you can really see the benefits of it, and we just want to make sure that she can do that more consistently. So those are the areas that we're going to be working on step by step over the next month or two. Of course, we want to try and get out on the golf course more. We need to continue practicing with our short game and our putting, because that's where she will gain most of her shots, save most of her shots. And if you've watched our videos last year, her best score was 105 and her bad scores about 130. That's a 25 shot swing. Now much of that is making 2 putts, chipping close enough to make 2 putts, pitching. A lot of those shots are lost around there. Of course, there's the odd one that when she goes into trouble, getting out of trouble, and we'll work on trouble shots as well. But short game is going to be key for scoring better. Our problem is always trying to find a place to do our short game. On the driving range, it's not ideal. We can pitch, we can choose our positions, but we don't actually see where the ball ends up in terms of a pin or a flag. And then the other one is making sure that her driver and her 3-woods and her hybrids are consistent, and getting that extra distance as she's getting bigger this year. Hopefully she'll gain 10 or 15 yards just from her physical development. So that's what we're going to try and do over the next few months. Of course, we will try to get on the golf course more. We will try to get the vlogs up and running. One of the things that always hinders us, but is a good thing, is that Cassie does lots of different activities. And so this next 3 months, she's training for a school competition where she'll be doing football, swimming, athletics. So she'll be training 3 nights a week for those activities for the next couple of months. So our chances of doing more golf are actually diminished for the next few months. But hopefully after April, we'll be able to get some more time on the golf. So we'll still be able to record videos and put them up regularly. But in terms of the extra stuff that we've been doing, like getting on the course more, going down to the driving range without the video and just practicing, we'll struggle a little bit, but I think there'll be enough content for us to keep going for the next couple of weeks. Okay, have a good 2019. I'm sure that if you can do what Cassie can do, and you do what Cassie has done in the last year, which is, you know, massively improved, then you will have a great 2019 and shave a whole load of shots off your game. Okay, thanks very much for watching Learn Golf with Cassie. If you like our channel, please subscribe, hit the bell button. That will notify you when we have new videos coming up. And we have videos coming mostly on Mondays and Wednesdays. And enjoy 2019. See you later.